Full name is Suryadipta Roy. Now, this is interesting. The Suryadipta is basically, if you kind of split it down right in the
We
middle.
just called him Dr. Roy, my economics professor. By the time he set his coffee down on the podium, he would be smiling through the disheveled teeth of Indian dentistry, asking, "So how was your weekend?" and ending in a quirky but genuine laugh. But for all his oddities, we took him for little less than he was, an Indian economics professor and an immigrant. I wish I could give you the reason I interviewed him with some clever little tagline like, "Nothing says American dream like an Indian economics professor," but I can't, because there is something terribly poignant about the man, how he gave little innuendos into his personal life without really saying anything at all, or how his faculty picture was of a wind-whipped youth standing by the sea.
I believe I'm coming from a pretty typical middle class Indian family. Actually, both my parents were in the service sector jobs. After I completed my master's, it was not very easy to get a job. But I did land up with one in the private sector while working with the Chamber of Commerce. Then I was working with the government. I was pretty dissatisfied with the kind of work that I was doing, and I wanted to go back to the academia.
Even for me, it's easy to romanticize paperwork to a saucy Bollywood mix. But I came to find out that Dr. Roy was much different from his peers, that one of his bygone fantasies was still very much a reality, the illustrious American dream.
A lot of my seniors, as well as my classmates, actually came were coming over here in the US to do PhD programs. It was, as a matter of fact, it was in my mind for quite some time. I would say it's kind of a childhood dream. But if I would have stayed back in India, it would have been a pretty sedentary lifestyle.
He told me that he pictured himself in a busy metropolitan cityscape, and he finally did make it to America. But instead of trading a reality for a dream, he merely exchanged one lifestyle for another, and he wasn't exactly better off.
I think I was I was basically kind of in a state of a trance. I was dazed actually. It was as if I was going through the motions of where life was taking me. I mean, it was I was just kind of let myself go with the flow of life.
As I came to the end of the interview, I asked him if he would do it all over again.
Uh, I believe. I mean, I think for me, right? I mean, when I think of it right now, it's basically
I never got a straight answer out of Dr. Roy, which leads me to believe that there is something terribly defective with the American dream. He got the visa all right, a scholarship, a doctorate degree, and a well-paying job, but was the opportunity cost so high that he could only respond with regret? And what does that mean for the rest of us Americans, striving to make something of ourselves? Is Dr. Roy's journey a microcosm for the American life as a whole? Are we all headed for the same place?
it's basically whether you are happy or not, happy with your life. Uh, when you kind of ask yourself inside whether you are happy or not.
I look at him now as that same wind-whipped youth, as one of those dissatisfied archetypes staring out to sea, now grown up. I had discovered a man who was different from his peers, or was he? Aren't we all birds of a feather? And if Dr. Roy came to America wanting what we all do, what does that mean for us?
I do miss my social life also back in India. That's very true. I do miss. I mean, uh, my family and relatives and kind of the social life. I would say in India.